The Backrooms. It was approximately 12:15 when I entered the Johnson County Community Health Clinic. I was there for an appointment I'd set up weeks ago, just a routine checkup. It wasn't a new place for me. I'd been there a couple of times before. However, the place had an odd nostalgic feel to it, as if it were a location from my childhood or something, and I could never pinpoint exactly what this feeling was or where it came from. As I walked in, an overwhelming feeling of déjà vu swept over me. The hum of the flickering fluorescent lights, the white tile flooring, the muted beige paint that colored the walls. I noticed there was a TV mounted in the corner, a small flat screen that was playing a short PowerPoint slideshow on loop of ads and events that were being held by the clinic. I passed the empty waiting area, a small area of the main room with magazines, children's playthings, and blue cushioned chairs, and approached a woman at the front desk. She was sitting in her bluish-gray office chair, looking at a spreadsheet on the same Windows XP desktop they'd had since 2008. There was a sign-in sheet on the counter in front of me. "I have an appointment with Dr. Pevins," I said.
What time?"
12:30, I replied. She began typing something into her keyboard.
Yes," she responded. "Gary Johnson."
Uh-huh.
"Yes, I'll tell the doctor. Please fill this out."
She handed me a clipboard which held a simple fill-out form. I walked back to the waiting area, took a seat, and began to fill out the form. I was about halfway done with filling in the information when I slumped back in my chair. I hadn't gotten much sleep the night prior, and I was exhausted. As I slumped back, I noticed something very peculiar. My head never hit the wall. In fact, it felt like it went in. I got up, quite frightened, and looked at the wall. Nothing, not a single hole or a dent had been made in the wall by my head, so I reached to touch the wall, and my fingers went through it. I recoiled in shock. What the hell was that? I thought as I reached to touch the wall again, only to find my fingers clipped through once more. Then, suddenly, I lost my balance, tripped and fell directly through the wall. I fell face first onto some dirty tan carpeting. Upon getting back up, I realized that I was in a completely different room. Well, not really a room per se, more so a set of rooms, all of which were connected by openings. The walls were covered in gross tan pattern wallpaper. There was also an overwhelming stench of moist carpet. I turned back around and tried to put my hand back through the wall, and it wouldn't go through. "Okay, what the fuck?" I muttered. I looked back into the room. There were no windows, no doors, nothing on the walls, other than that disgusting wallpaper, of course. It was completely empty, aside from a singular plastic blue school chair. At this point, the only thing going through my mind was fear and the repeating thought of, I need to leave, on loop in my head. I started running through the rooms, desperately trying to find an exit, but to no avail. There was no exit. Was this my permanent location till I died? No, there had to be a way out. I wasn't gonna just be left here, right? Eventually, someone would notice that I was gone. But nobody did. Then, in the distance, I heard footsteps, but not those of a human's, at least not a normal human. Alongside the footsteps was a gurgling snarl like that of an angry animal. I began to run. I ran as fast as I could from whatever the hell was approaching me. I didn't want anything to do with it. I ran for what seemed like forever, but I always ended up back in the same room I started in. At least, it looked like the same room, not that I could tell them apart. So I sat down, defeated. A feeling of dread filled my body, and I started to cry. I was going to die here. I'm still here. I haven't left. I've accepted my fate. In fact, I can actually hear footsteps. I wonder who that is.